Thank you for joining us. Welcome to those of you watching and also to those of you listening in tonight, tuning in on CJAD 800 radio because you've lost power, like so many others across this city and the province. Just before airtime, we were able to confirm that more than 1 million Hydro-Quebec customers are now in the dark because of the spring ice storm that brought freezing rain and treacherous conditions throughout the day. Hydro crews are hard at work trying to restore electricity to those who've been knocked off the grid, but with all the downed trees and power lines, they're warning it will take time. We are expecting at least 2 news conferences tomorrow morning, one at 9 a.m. from Energy Minister Pierre Fitzgibbon and Public Security Minister François Bonnardel, and one at 11 a.m. from Hydro-Quebec. Matt Grillo is live in NDG. And Matt, you and our cameraman, Cosmo Santamaria, came across quite a sight earlier.
Yes, Maya, we happened to be in NDG for a tree that had fallen when we noticed down the road, off in the distance, a bright light that was flashing. So we decided to move a little bit closer to get an idea of what this was. And as we did move closer, we realized there was a fire in the power lines up above. Have a look now and listen what happened. So this was on Royal Avenue in NDG. Police were quickly called on scene and taped off the area. Eventually, we caught on our cameras an explosion in the power lines. Police were unable to speak about this specific situation, but did mention there have been other transformers that have exploded tonight in Montreal. Now, just a few blocks away, a massive tree toppled over and fell onto a car. The car's roof sustained some damage. The tree is blocking Côte Saint-Antoine Street near the corner of Royal Avenue. A resident who lives across the street said this all happened at about just before 7 o'clock. He heard a very loud noise in his apartment and came outside to see the tree completely uprooted. Here's more now from NDG resident François Chevrefils.
It was like a earthquake. It was so trembling that I even felt the wall of my, because I'm on the ground floor in my block apartment, I felt the trembling of the wall. This car is really lucky because the tree makes like a curve, you see? So it's only the hood of the car that is broken. In fact, it's a miracle for the owner.
So, Matt, obviously this is a developing story. We're getting a reaction, the latest details from Hydro-Quebec. What can you tell us?
Well, Maya, as you mentioned off the top, 1 million people throughout the province without power, about 500,000 in Montreal alone, and the numbers just have been steadily climbing since this afternoon. Hydro-Quebec said it anticipated this. It had given time off to employees on Tuesday so they would be well prepared and ready to work some extra long hours. Now, it appears as though Montreal has been hit the hardest in the province. For a little more explanation now, here's more from Hydro-Quebec.
It's been a while since last time we saw a so important amount of customers without power in Montreal. And this is explained by the trees and vegetation falling on our grid after being covered by ice. And this snowstorm, this ice storm seems to be moving very slowly eastbound.
So a very busy night, Maya, for emergency services with all the trees that have toppled over and all the power problems. This will likely take days to sort out. Maya?
Okay, thank you very much for that, Matt. Matt Grillo reporting live for us from NDG. Now, because of the weather conditions, several school boards have decided to cancel classes tomorrow. And Max, that list has been growing all evening.
That's right, Maya, and it may keep growing during the night and into the morning as officials assess the state of their buildings and in particular how cold they are due to the lack of electricity for hours now. So here's a list of schools that have already decided to close tomorrow because they're not sure if they're going to have power on again by the morning. The Lester B. Pearson School Board will not open tomorrow. The English Montreal School Board will not open its 73 schools. Same goes for the Centre des Services Scolaires de Montréal and most of the other major Francophone school service centers in and around the city, as well as Cooper Academy, Summit School, and Collège Stanislas. Now, here's Mike Cohen about the decision to cancel classes tomorrow at the MSB.
Well, this is an unprecedented situation. We already have dozens of schools and centers that have no power tonight. It's questionable whether we'll have power tomorrow. We have many staff and students who also have no power. So it's an unprecedented situation, and we felt that it would be prudent to cancel school and classes tomorrow for all of our youth and adult sector schools.
Now, I'm told kids are more reliant than ever on electricity in schools, not just to keep warm, of course, but also because many of them use tablets for their schoolwork. And so this day off tomorrow means an extra long weekend for a lot of the kids, since in many cases there were no classes already scheduled for Friday and for Monday because of the long holiday weekend. So make it a good one.
It's quite something. I'm sure the students will be happy, maybe their parents not so much. All right, thank you very much, Max.
We're starting to see improving conditions in most areas of southwestern Quebec. Still some messy weather for eastern areas of the province as a low continues to move off to the east. This low affecting many areas with its frontal boundary dropping into the U.S. once again bring destructive weather along its path. Montreal was also in its path with some freezing rain, but temperatures will continue to climb through the overnight period. We'll see 3 degrees, so that rain will continue on and off. A few showers early tomorrow morning before we start to see some sun, and it will be much warmer. Details coming up.